Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll see one-liner questions in HTML that we will see in a structured way, that is part by part. First one we'll see about general structure. Next we'll see about text and formatting. Next we'll see about link and navigation. Then we'll see about image and multimedia. Then list and tables. Then forms and input. Then HTML and API. Then responsive design and accessibility. Then meta and SE. Then miscellaneous and best practice. I have created it for 100 one-liner questions which you can use as MCQ also. Without wasting our time, let us start our question number 1. What does HTML stand for? We all know it. This is Hypertext Markup Language. What is the purpose of doc-type HTML declaration? It tells the web browser the version of HTML being used. Which version of HTML you are using? Question number 3. What is the root element of every HTML document? The root element is HTML. What is the root element? The first element that will come. The starting comes HTML and the last one will come with a slash here. One slash will be there for the end. Starting will be HTML and the last one will be with slash. What does the head section of an HTML document contain? Metadata, links, script, style, and title are there in the head section. After every HTML, you will have it like HTML, then head. And within head, you have this. Question number 5. Why is semantic HTML important for web development? It improves accessibility, SEO, and code reusability. It improves accessibility, SEO. SEO means search engine optimization and code reusability. Once you write the code, you can use it in other pages also. The similar codes. Suppose you are designing a web page and many codes can be used in defined web pages or defined websites. How is the section tag defined from div? Section is semantic, div is non-semantic. You should know this. Section is a semantic tag and div is a non-semantic tag. One thing let me tell you, section itself is also a division and div will also group some elements and section will also group some elements. But if you see, its section is a semantic element and div is a non-semantic element. What is the difference between article and section? Article is self-content content. Section groups related content. This means that one section can contain multiple articles. Within one section, you can have multiple articles and you have to follow this rule. These are the rules specified by HTML. So you should know that article is a self-content content and section groups related content. How do you create comment in HTML? It is very simple. In our last video also we have seen you have to write this and this section is the comment whatever you want to write and it has to be closed by this. In C and C++ we have seen different comments like this or this, then closed by this, but in HTML you have to use this. That is this symbol greater than, then semicolon, then two hyphen, then two hyphen, then this. Now our next question, what is the function of meta character set UTF-8 tag? In HTML5, we used to use this tag meta character set equal to UTF-8. It specifies the character set encoding. What does title tag defines in HTML document? On the browser tag, you will see the title. Our next part, that is text and formatting. If you are enjoying this video, please like this video and share it with your friends. Question number 11. How do you make text bold using semantic element. Using semantic element, you have to use strong. Before we have learned that we can use B, but semantic element we have to use strong. Hot tag should you use for important content emphasize, that is EM tag. How strong tag differ from bold tag? Strong has semantic meaning. B is purely visual. What is the purpose of EM tag? To emphasize tag with semantic meaning. How do you define preformatted tags in HTML? You have to use the pre tag. Suppose you want to write a poem. For example, I want to write a poem like rain, rain, go away, come again another day. That should come in 2 lines. But if you write it within P tag, then it will come in 1 line. But if you write it within pre, it will come as you type. This tag has to be used to mark computer code. How do you insert a line break in text? You can use a line break by using the beer tag, and you can put this symbol also here because it is a self-closing tag and you should specify by using this symbol. Like code itself has got some starting and end code like HTML, the start tag and the end tag. But beer don't have a end tag. So it is called self-closing tag and has to be written like this. You can put a space here. This is the way. Hot tag is used to mark short quotation. Short quotation can be marked using Q. How do you define a citation in HTML? Use cite tag. CITE tag, which tag represent a definition term in a definition list, that is DT tag. You have to use DT tag. You should know we have got some list which will come now like UL, OL, LI. Similarly, there is something called definition list and we have to use DT. Next is our link and navigation. Question number 21. How do you create a hyperlink in HTML? You have to use the anchor tag. Within this anchor tag, you have to write the hyperlink in HTML. What does the target blank attribute do? Opens the link in a new tab. And if you want to open the window in the same tab, then you have to write here in place of blank, you have to write here self. 23. How do you link to an external website? A href equal to this, then link, then A. See here, A is the tag, href equal to the href is the attribute name and equal to is the link of the website. Then this is the link that will appear, and whenever you take your mouse over link, a hand will appear, and if you click on here, then you will go to example.com, and it has to be closed by a anchor tag again. That is the closing anchor tag. This is the starting anchor tag and this is the closing anchor tag. Please remember how do you create a email link in HTML? A href equal to, here you see mail to example.this at this. This is your email address and email us. Then you have to close the anchor tag. How do you create an email link in HTML? You have to use the anchor tag, and in the href attribute, you have to write mail to, use column and the email address. Here you see example at example.com is the email address. Say Vishwajit Poddar at gmail.com will be the email address. In your case, your email address. Mail to has to be there. And email us is the text that will be displayed with an underline and it has to be closed with A. What is the use of nav element? To define a navigation section. What is a navigation section? If you want to create a menu, you have to use the navigation section. You have seen a drop-down menu that has to be created using the nav element. What is the difference between a relative and absolute link? If you give the full URL, that is a absolute link, and if you give the short link, and if it is within the same domain, then you can use the relative link. How can you create an entire div clickable as a link? Wrap it within a tag. Now, here it is a very tricky question. How can you make a div totally clickable? Whenever you take the mouse within the div section, a hand will appear, and if you click, it will take you to some other page. You have to wrap it within a anchor tag. What does the rel attribute specify in a anchor tag? Describe the relationship between the current and linked document. The rel attribute specify or describe the relationship between the current and the linked document. How can you create a bookmark link to a section in a same page? Use an ID and link it to ID name. You have to create an ID and you have to link it to that. How do you open a link in a new browser tab? I told you before, you have to use a blank, and we have got the same question before. And if you want it in the same window, you have to write here self, SELF, something like this. Then it will open in the same window. And if you write it as before, it will open in the new tab. Now, image and multimedia. Our next section is image and multimedia. How do you add an image to a HTML page? Use img ssc equal to image.jpg. Here you have to write something like this: img ssc equal to image dot or image file name dot whatever extension is there. In this example, we have given JPG. It can be PNG. It can be any other. We can have any extension. Then al description tag. That is, alternately, you have to specify here the name or the description of the image. If the image cannot be loaded, then this text will appear there. So, imgssc. Again, it is a self-closing tag. You can use here the same slash as I have shown you before. You don't have a closing tag. What does alt attribute in an image tag do? Provide alternative text for accessibility. As I told you here, it will provide alternative text for accessibility. How can you specify fallback content to a video tag? Place the fallback text or element between video tag. That is, you have to place the fallback text or element between the video tag. What is fallback? If the video cannot be loaded, in that case, this text will appear. Our next question: what is the purpose of figure and figure caption tag? To group media and provide caption, you have to use figure and figure caption. How do you embed an audio file in HTML? Use the audio control ssc filename.mp3. This is file.mp3 is the name of the file, and you have to use the tag like this: audio controls ssc this, then close it with the audio tag. What tag is used to embed YouTube videos? You can use iframe tag. Iframe tag can be used to embed a YouTube video. Please practice this, and if you don't practice, you will not understand. By simply going through it, you cannot remember it. You have to practice these codes. And these are very important for interviews. Whenever you go for an interview for a web designer, This kind of questions are being asked. How do you define multiple sources for a video in HTML5? Use multiple then sources tag with video. Use multiple sources tag with video. Our next question, what attribute would you use to autoplay a video? Your answer is autoplay attribute. How do you set alternative audio format for better compatibility? Use multiple sources elements with audio. Our last question, question number 40. How do you make media responsive in HTML? Use CSS with max width 100%, height auto. This you have to use in your CSS file to make it media responsive. Our next section is list and table. Our next section, list and table. How do you create a ordered list in HTML? Use OL tag. To create a unordered list, you have to use UL. UL for unordered and OL for ordered list. What tag defines unordered list? That is UL. How do you nest list in HTML? Place another list inside li element. For this question, I'll give you a short solution in the description. Please take it from there. Which tag defines a table row? Table row can be defined using tr. What does th represent? A table header cell. How do you merge cell in HTML? You have to use call span or row span attribute. You have to use one is called call span, another is called row span. Row span to merge rows and call span to merge columns. How do you add caption to a table? You have to use the caption tag. How do you make a cell span multiple columns? Use call span equal to number. How do you make cell span multiple columns? Use call span equal to number. Hot tag is used for list item element, that is li tag. Li tag has to be used with ol as well as ul. Forms and input. Hot element is used to create HTML form. You have to use the form tag. Form tag is used to create a HTML form. How do you define text input field? You have to use input type equal to text. How can you group related form elements together? You have to use a tag called field set. A field set tag is used to group related form elements. What is the purpose of label tag? To associate label with a form control. How do you create a drop-down list in a form? You have to use a select tag and within it you should have options like option 1, option 2, option 3. You should have as much option as you need within the select tag so that you can create a drop-down list. How do you create a radio button in HTML? That is input type equal to radio. Hot tag is used for a multi-line text input. You have to use text area. Input type text will create a single line text, but if you need to write an address, you have to use text area tag. How do you create a field required in HTML? Use the required attribute. How can you provide a placeholder text in an input field? You have to use placeholder attribute. What does the action attribute do in a form? Specify where to send the form data. The action attribute decides or specifies where you should send the form data. Our next section, HTML5 and APIs. What is local storage in HTML5 used for? To store data in the browser with no expiration. There will be no expiry of data in the web browser. What is the difference between canvas and SVG? Canvas is pixel based and SVG is vector based. How do you draw graphics with canvas tag? Use JavaScript. You have to use JavaScript to draw a graphic using canvas tag. Hot HTML5 element is used to display progress. The progress tag you have to use or progress element you have to use. What is the output tag used for? To display calculation or script result. How do you detect browsers support for HTML5 features? To JavaScript features detection. What does the content editable attribute do? Makes the element editable by the user. How do you use details and summary tag to create toggleable disclosure widget? What is the purpose of template tag? To hold client-side content that is not rendered when the page loads. How does the data list element enhance form input? Provides predefined options for input. If you are still watching this video till now, then please subscribe my channel and don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Let's go to our next section, that is responsive design and accessibility. How do you specify viewport for responsive design? Use meta name equal to viewport, content equal to width equal to device width, initial scale equal to 1.0. This is the tag you have to use to specify responsive design. What is the purpose of the lang attribute in HTML? Specify the document's language for accessibility. How does HTML support accessibility for screen readers? Through semantic tag, ARIA roles, and proper structure. What does the ARIA level attribute do? Provide accessibility, provide accessible level for assistive technology. Why should all the image have meaningful alt text for screen readers and accessibility? How can keyboard navigation be improved in HTML? How can keyboard navigation be improved with HTML? Use proper focusable elements and tab index. Use proper focusable elements and tab index. How does ABBR tag helps accessibility? Expands abbreviation with use with title. What is the purpose of tab index attribute? Control tab order of elements. Suppose you are pressing the tab to fill up a form, which should be the first element, and which should be the next. That can be done with the help of tab index. What is the use of role attribute in HTML? Provide extra semantic for associative technologies. Now, our next section, meta and SEO. How do you specify a page character encoding? Page character encoding can be specified using meta character set equal to UTF-8. We have learned it before also. What is the purpose of meta name equal to viewport tag? Make the layout responsive to the screen wide. How do meta tags improve SEO? By providing search engine with metadata about the page. By providing the search engine with metadata about the page. What does meta name equal to description do? Provide a summary for search engine results. What is the function of the conical link element? Provide duplicate content issues by indicating the preferred URL. How do you prevent a page from being indexed by a search engine? Use meta name equal to Roberts, content equal to no index. Use meta name equal to Roberts, content equal to no index. When you use content equal to no index, it will not be indexed in the search engine result. What is the difference between meta and link? Meta provides metadata, link provides external resources. What does Robert meta tag control? Indexing and following the link by search engine. How do you redirect a page using HTML meta tag? Meta httf equip equal to refresh content 5 URL equal to new page.html. This tag you have to use to redirect a page. What is the importance of header hierarchy for SEO? Helps define contents structured for both users and search engine. And our last part, that is miscellaneous and best practice. If you are enjoying the video till now, please don't forget to subscribe this video and give a like to this video and share it with your friends. How do you include fav icon in a HTML document? You have to use link rel equal to icon href fav icon dot ico. ICO is the extension of the file and fav icon is the name of the file. And you have to use this tag. How do you link an external CSS file in HTML? You have to link it using this code link rel equal to stylesheet href equal to stylesheet.css. Link rel equal to stylesheet, and after this href equal to, you have to give your CSS file name. .css is the extension of the file. What is the purpose of the defer attribute in script tag? Defers script execution until after HTML is passed. How do you load JavaScript at the bottom of the HTML page? Place the script tag, that is the script, then SSC equals JavaScript, then close it, and you should put it just before the end of the body. It's not the beginning of the body. You should see here the slash is here. This is the end tag. How do you embed PDF file using HTML? Use embed or iframe with the PDF URL. Why should IDs be unique in HTML document? To avoid conflict and ensure correct targeting. To avoid conflicts and ensure correct targeting. One thing you should remember, each web page should have only one ID and one element can use only one ID. And the same ID cannot be used by other element, and which is defined in case of class. An element can use multiple class and the same class can be used by multiple elements. This is an important note you should remember. What's the difference between ID and class? IDs are unique, classes can be reused. How do you mark a content as depreciated or outdated? Use del or s tag. You have to use the del or s tag. What is the benefit of maximizing inline style in HTML? Improve manageability and separation of concern. How do you validate an HTML document? Use the W3C validation or browser depth tool. This ends our 100 one-liner question and answer for HTML part 2. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel and share this video with your friend and give a like to this video. Thank you for watching this video and see you very soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye.